No longer let the myths grow. That's why I want to be clear. There's a ton of reasons why everything really feels so shitty and awful nowadays, and maybe I'll complain about something else, but something that just literally just popped in my head is we no longer let the myths grow. When I was a kid in the early 2000s, I remember people talking about the 1980s as this wonderful, mythical, like really amazing time. And it had so much vibe and vivacity and verve, and the music was incredible, and how great the 80s were. And it's because we didn't have this incessant recording of everything from the 80s. So the things that we remember are the things that deeply affected us. And that time from when they were in the 80s to now allowed these things to kind of get a mythical status in the mind of our parents. And the same thing happened with the 90s. We didn't have extensive recordings and logs through visual medium of everything. So these things got to grow and become bigger than life. Like Jurassic Park is an incredible movie. And there are a lot of mistakes with it, but it was able to gain this mythical status simply because there was not a lot of think pieces or people's opinions on what was happening and what wasn't happening. This idea that we have to take everything and rip it apart piece by piece for it to matter or tear it down a peg stops things that are worth mythologizing from becoming myths. Saturday morning cartoons are mythologized in my heart because of how great my brain remembers them. It is not an accurate 100% retelling because to be truthful, though they were probably shitty storytelling, terrible animation, and a whole bunch of other things wrong with it, right? But my brain remembers it as something different because the art was more than what it was on the screen. It was allowed to come off and into life in my own imagination. I got to be gifted a new way of imagining something and use it myself however I wanted. So Saturday morning cartoons ended up becoming something a lot bigger. I'm able to mythologize a lot of things from my youth because there isn't this extensive recording of it. I mythologized back when McDonald's would have more than just shitty Happy Meal toys for kids to get, when you could collect plates from Hercules or cups from Ghostbusters. I don't really remember. It's just this idea that because we are so intently tearing into everything, reviewing everything, critiquing, criticizing everything, and doing everything so quickly, we don't allow that space and time for our own imagination to fill in the gaps of someone else's art. Because there is no art piece that is truly perfect, that is truly going to hit every single thing that it needs to hit. That's just an impossibility. Art is always a community thing. Always. It doesn't matter what the art is, it's a community thing. It is what the artist envisions and what the person experiencing the art consumes and then decides to tell of that story of that art. We need more patience. We need more time. We need to not be swamped under the release of everything happening so fast and so quickly. And I urge you to slow your own life down to allow things to become mythologized. Allow things to become bigger than life. Allow things to become good and impressive and change you and influence your imagination, and to be that kid again, sitting watching Saturday morning cartoons with a bowl of cereal. What I would give to go back in time. Because today, nothing feels the same as then. And part of it is because I don't allow the time and space for it to feel that way. If this made sense to you, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to just keep complaining, ranting, and saying things until I figure out how I want to make content and what it's going to look like. But I've been consistent for a few weeks now. Hit the subscribe button, share, follow. I don't know what the fuck to do with this shit. I'm just trying to make stuff. Thank you. Here's an ending.